Hi, my name is Beth Hiley, here for Board Game Geek at Gen Con 50. I'm sitting down with Andrew Wolf from USAopoly, and we have a familiar box between us, which is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, which was a very popular title for you guys.
Absolutely,
when this came out?
Last year, we debuted it at Gen Con last year. It had a crazy mad rush.
Sure did.
The fan reaction was overwhelming, and it's continued to be overwhelming over the course of the last year. So thank you to everyone for helping support this game. We really appreciate it, and we're thrilled to be able to bring so much great Harry Potter content to all the fans out there.
Brought us an expansion,
yes.
Which is, there was a challenge here, can I do the entire title? Harry Potter, Hogwarts Battle, the Monster Box of Monsters, a cooperative deck building game. So
nailed it.
This is the Monster Box of Monsters expansion. Now, is this the first expansion?
It is.
Hogwarts Battle?
Yes, so this is debuting at the show this year. Last year we had 50 copies a day of that. We had a super tight run on it. Here we have 150 copies a day. We've already sold out for today. So if you're here at the show or trying to get a copy, make sure you get here early.
Can I just say how cool these look when you kind of stack them on top of each other and you got your little luggage cart here?
Thank you for noticing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. We try and really embrace all the themes and do some fun stuff there. So you've got your luggage box there as well. So let's talk about the expansion a little bit. So I'm sure people are dying to know what's in it.
And we'll assume, again, people have played Hogwarts Battle, so if you haven't, go check that out. This is the expansion, and what do we get?
Absolutely. So in the Monster Box of Monsters expansion, we're focusing on all of the magical creatures in the wizarding world. So in addition to the villains that you would encounter in the base game, we've added a whole new set of villains in the form of creatures that you have to deal with. Most of them work in the same way in that you have to accumulate attack to defeat the monsters. We've introduced a new element where some of the monsters, you're not actually battling per se, but you're trying to kind of win over their favor. So you're going to assign influence tokens to them to defeat them instead of trying to literally defeat them and eliminate the threat. Right? You sort of want to tame Norbert and learn how to live with the magical creatures in the world instead of actually attacking and defeating them.
You know, Fluffy's not necessarily a bad guy.
No, but him you have to deal with. But so that's a fun new element there. We've also introduced what we call encounters, which are additional obstacles that the heroes have to overcome throughout the course of the game in order to win, in addition to the standard needing to deal with all the creatures and villains that you're going to encounter. Again, the gameplay still is resolved by either defeating all of the villains and creatures before they gain control of all of the locations. Now they have this additional element where the encounters also have to be dealt with. And they're sort of like little puzzles you have to solve over the course of the game. Different combinations of play you have to make. So it's going to change up gameplay and add some additional challenging elements that we found people are really enjoying and having a lot of fun with. Kind of the new element, solving puzzles, trying to kind of attack things in different perspectives.
I was going to say, and I hope people recognize too that the name is actually a little bit of an in-joke too. Because
it is.
When Hagrid is the teacher briefly, he gives the monster book of monsters, which actually the whole book was like, So.
Yeah, so that's our wink and nod to the monster book, which is actually a card in the Hogwarts deck. So you can get the monster book, which is going to give you some cool stuff. I won't spoil what it does. So we've got a new playable character in Luna Lovegood that I know everybody's really excited about, in addition to new versions of the other 4 characters in the base game. So new abilities for your characters, plus a new playable character who comes with her own unique starting deck. So she gets her lion hat, she has her Spectre Specs, she has a Crumplehorn Snorkack for her familiar, plus your Alohomora cards. So now players have a chance to choose between 1 to 5 characters. It's still a 2 to 4 player game, but you have some choices in which characters you want to combine. And I know people have been really excited about playing the game with different combinations and finding their favorite combinations and just kind of, everybody has their favorite character, and Luna is definitely a fan favorite, so we're excited to add her. A couple other elements I'll go over really quickly we've added. We've got detention cards that you can get inserted into your deck, and they're not good. You don't want to get detention. So they're actually cards that are going to clog up your hand, slow your progress down, have some detrimental effects that you can accumulate. And we've also introduced the element of what we call banishing, removing cards from your deck permanently, which is a mechanic I think most people are familiar with in other deck building games. And we chose not to include it in the base game, but we added that element in the expansion. So you've got cards now like Argus Filch and Mr. Norris. So he's the caretaker, the janitor. He cleans up the messes.
Very grumpy caretaker.
So, yes, so he can clean up some of the cards in your deck. We've got spells.
How thematically appropriate that he sweeps them away.
Exactly. Turgio is a cleaning spell. in the Wizarding World. So if you use Turgio, you can clean some of the cards out of your deck. Again, we're really excited about really embracing the license and the storytelling of the Wizarding World in some fun ways with this expansion. And then one thing I'll share without spoiling too much is, like in the base game, the expansion includes 4 box encounters. So what you're seeing here is most of the content from box 1. And like in the base game, as you progress from game to game, you're going to open a new box, which is going to give you more new content. So more new creatures, new Hogwarts cards, new encounters, new ways to play.
Well, we're not going to open those up.
Nope.
You got to go get it and find out for yourself.
You got to make your way through these boxes, these encounters, before you can graduate to the next year. And I know everyone's really had a fun time opening up the boxes, progressing from game to game, really enjoying that sort of sequential storytelling experience. So we really wanted to include as much of that as we can, all just theming it around the creatures and monsters in the Wizarding World.
Oh my gosh, Andrew, this is awesome. Here, why don't you throw the top back on that one so we can form our little luggage pile here again. If you guys want to check that out, this is the first expansion to Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, which is the Monster Box of Monsters.
It's available now.
Available now from USAopoly. And Andrew, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.